Well, hey everyone, my name is Dylan and we are in week 2 of Red Flags. Now, if you missed the first week, Ethan killed it last week. So you need to go back on our YouTube channel right now. I'm gonna wait for you and watch it. I'm gonna wait for you. I'm waiting. Thank you. We are back, week 2 of Red Flags. And all month long, we've been talking about these bad boys, red flags. But this week, I wanna talk to you about something that we've all experienced before big time. Now, let me paint the picture. Let's say you're sitting in class and you have that crush, or maybe you're on that date and you're sitting across from them at the table and you have that perfect looking guy, that perfect looking girl. Like, they are the most attractive people you've ever seen in your life and you can't stop staring at them. And you're looking at them and you're just watching every move because that's just what we do if we have a crush, and you're just watching them and watching them and watching them, and all of a sudden you see them do something that's really weird and immediately in your mind you go, uh-oh, red flag, red flag, red flag. What is going on? This guy should be perfect. This girl should be perfect. What is happening? Let me give you another example. Let's say you're a girl and a guy picks you up. As you're walking out to the car, he just walks on around and gets in his door, and he gets in and is waiting for you to open your door. He doesn't open the car door for you. Big red flag. That's a huge red flag. Or maybe for you, you have that guy, that girl that you've been texting for so long and you're just in love with them. And so you do some stalking, because we all like stalking, right? We all do it. So you were doing some stalking and you go to their Snapchat and you look at their Snap score and oh boy, it's 2.5 million. Red flag. That's a big old red flag. If they have that, red flag, get up now. Or maybe for you, you've been texting this guy, this girl, and one night you're texting and this guy looks at you, texts you and says, refers to you as mommy. Yeah, mommy. Or maybe you're texting this guy one night, or you're texting this girl one night, and this girl refers to you as daddy. Now, let me just tell you something. That's a big old red flag. Red flag. Red flags everywhere. It's a red flag. Red flag, get out now. If they're calling you mommy or daddy or anything that you should be calling your parents or grandparents, get out now. You don't need to be in that. I don't need to be in that. Nobody needs to be in that. They're weirdos, okay? Let me just tell you something. They're a little weird, so get out now. But in all seriousness, in relationships, and when we have that crush or that guy, that girl, it's very easy to see the red flags in other people, especially when they call you mommy or daddy. I'm just saying. But it's very easy to see the red flags in other people. What's not so easy is seeing the red flags right here in ourselves. It's not so easy to do that. So I want to tell you a story, because I think this story is going to paint the picture for me and you perfectly. Now, the story is about a girl named Leslie. That's not her real name. It's a fake name, but her name is Leslie. See, Leslie, she grew up in church and she was a Christian. Her parents were Christians. She was always in church. Anytime the door was open, she was in church. She prayed with her parents. She prayed before she went to sleep. She was a good Christian. And as she got to high school, she started hanging out with a different group of people. And this group of people, they would go and drink on Friday nights, and they'd go hang out and tailgate after the football games, and some of them would even have sex in the back of the car, and some of them would smoke, and on different nights of the week, they would always be doing something crazy. And so, Leslie, you see, Leslie didn't see really anything wrong with it, because she still came to church sometimes, she still prayed sometimes, but yet she was doing other things. She wasn't really being who she said she was. Now, Leslie, you see, she went to a church party one night with her family. And at this church party, this new family had moved into the town, and they came to the church, and Leslie sees across the room this great, amazing looking guy. Like, he almost looks like me. I'm just saying. He's a good looking guy. And he's tall, he's handsome, he smells really good. And Leslie sees him, and she gets a big crush on him. And so Leslie, she talks about him all night. She looks at him, she's staring him down. They're making eye contact. And so Leslie goes home that night. And at home, she's talking to her family and talking to her mom. And she's talking to him, and she to her, and she just can't get this big old smile off her face. And she's talking about how good he smelled and how good looking he was, and his hair was perfect, and his clothes were just good, and he just had the right style. He was just the perfect guy. And while she was talking, she said, "Mom, you know, the biggest thing that attracted me to him is how big of a Christian he was. Is how when he said he was a Christian, he actually meant it. How he actually meant that he was a Christian, that he would actually pray, that he actually read his Bible, that he actually had standards." And so Leslie's talking, and she's got this big old smile on her face, and her mom looks at her in the middle of the conversation and says, "Leslie, that's great and all, and I really pray that you find a guy like that in the future. But a guy like that is that perfect and that big of a Christian and that big of just that dream guy, that guy, he's not looking for a girl like you." You see, sometimes in life, we don't always look and see that we should become the one that someone else is looking for. We always look at other people and we see the red flags in other people, and we see the things that other people are doing wrong, and we see the attractiveness of other people. We can spot other people's problems and other people's things so much easier than ours. But when it actually comes to looking at ourselves, it's a lot harder to actually look at ourselves and think about, am I really the person that someone is looking for? Am I really the person that dream guy, that dream girl is looking for? Am I? And that's the hard part about it. And so my challenge to you, and my challenge from me, and my challenge for all of us this month is, I want, instead of us trying to find the one and trying to find that crush and trying to find that perfect guy, that perfect girl, I want us to focus on becoming the one. Because I don't ever want me or you to get to that point in life when we find that one and we're not the one that they're looking for. Because that would be the biggest heartbreak ever. And so, you might be asking, how in the world do I become the one? Well, you see, it's pretty easy. Paul, he tells us pretty easily in 1 Corinthians 13, he says this. He says, "Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres." Paul is saying here, if you want to become the one, then follow these things. He says, patience, have kindness, don't boast, work on pridefulness, don't dishonor others, focus on your anger, focus on your grudges. What he's really trying to say is that dream girl, that dream guy, would you want them to dishonor their parents? Of course you wouldn't. So why would you dishonor yours? Do you want that dream guy, that dream girl to go and have the most filthiest mouth ever? Of course not. So why would you? Focus on becoming the one that you eventually want to marry. Focus on becoming the one. And I think that if you do that, then when the day comes and that guy, that girl comes around that's really attractive and that you really love, you're going to be the one for them. So take this month, focus on becoming the one. Focus on 1 Corinthians 13. Focus on becoming the one for your future person. See y'all soon.